Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to InfiniteOmega with me, Black Death. As I'm sure you can tell at first glance, this video is a little bit different than the normal. Namely that it's in live action, like ooh, fancy, right? So what you're seeing here is a collection of the components that are going to be going into my new PC build. This is something I have been excited to do for quite some time, but have finally pulled the trigger on. So I actually picked up all the parts in the last couple days, and me and my buddy here are just gonna go ahead and put the system together. So, of course, our first order of business is to go ahead and remove the case from the box so we can get started.
First, let's not throw away the bits in case I need it for packing in the future. Alright, so, maybe just actually grab by this, this cheesecloth or whatever the hell it is. Sit her down. Oh. The best part of building a PC, dealing with a shitload of boxes.
Hey, those ROG boxes are so pretty.
So I'm not grabbing by glass here, so I'm good if you want to slide that off.
Oh, look at that.
We're looking pretty. We are looking really pretty. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, I've actually done no research as to how to start installing on this case, but let's get started anyways.
So you just clip the button.
Let's just flip that over to just kind of showcase what the face looks like there. Just clean white panel, and let's get this back panel off actually as well, just for some cable management. Now, what's nice, they got some finger tight screws here that were tightened by a machine. I don't know.
No, mine's fine.
Did you get yours? Go ahead. Oh, they go in deep. That's what she said.
Exactly.
All right. Here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep these screws actually in this bag. This is a nice handy little bag.
I feel like gravity is supposed to assist in this.
Perhaps. No, there we go. Comes out nicely.
Just pry it out with a knife.
Alright. Let's just see how they've organized the cables so far. Oh, that's the top, not the front. This is the front. Oh yeah. Well, okay. Okay, so yeah, so that's nice. You got a power button there. I'm guessing this in-win is
It's all RGB.
Yeah, that's
From what I've heard, it's rsync.
What I'm curious about though is if you look at this this front panel here, just for a second, if we can just put that in frame, you can see one set of, I'm guessing, RGB pins are unplugged, and we have
Maybe that's to sync it in with the motherboard?
I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna need to look at some instructions for that.
I don't think the box had instructions.
I don't think it had instructions either, so maybe we're gonna go online and find out what that's for, or if they just, I'm not sure why they gave us. Okay, well I guess we'll find out. We're gonna find out what's going on with that. Is there any like real booklet in here?
I doubt it.
Doesn't look like it. Okay. Thankful for InWin to not provide us with any useful shit. Okay.
Now for a message from our sponsor, InWin.
InWin! If you want a case that doesn't tell you anything at all on how to build it,
then InWin is the case for you.
InWin's probably your first choice, actually. This is nice. On the bottom here, we got a nice like dust tray here. It doesn't look like it's easy to remove unless it slides this way. Yeah, okay.
It does.
There we go.
So it's easy to remove, actually.
So it is actually easy to remove, and you got some nice little dust protection there. You want to grab the motherboard?
We already had the motherboard good and ready to go, with CPU already seated and the heatsink and fan already in place. Now it was time for the joy of cable management.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I keep thinking this is the front face and this is
The part that actually has a thing on the front is the front.
You know, that's logical.
And more cable management. And of course it would be that somewhere along the way my camera stopped recording, so I didn't actually get the footage of us putting in the motherboard, but nonetheless we skip ahead here to us doing more cable management with it in place. Coming up in a moment here though, I will slow the video down so you can see as we insert that sweet RTX 2080 into the motherboard.
Okay. So,
I mean, why would they put covers on there?
and then it's heavy enough to push itself in. That's awesome. Look at the size of this fucking beast.
My god, it's a thing of beauty. I cannot wait to do some gaming on this thing. And after all was said and done, I realized I hadn't yet actually got any extra case fans, so I had to go and get some of those, and here's me putting one of them in. And now, with everything assembled, it was time to boot it up. And as we do, that RGB starts to kick in. I was a little worried here for a moment though, because my fans were not starting, and they also have some RGB lighting on them. But after a moment, there you go. As you can see, they kicked in and everything was good. Of course, when doing a video showing off a new PC build, one would be remiss if they did not show off that sweet, sweet RGB goodness in its full glory. So for your enjoyment, here it is. And as you can see, almost everything in this build is rsync compatible, with the one sole exception being the CPU fan. By default, all the lighting seems to go to the rainbow mode anyway, so that syncs up fairly nicely. It's only if you start changing the color scheme in the rsync program that things will then, go out of sync with the CPU fan. And I couldn't at this time be bothered to try and figure out how to fiddle with that, so I just left it as is. And also, I had my keyboard in here, so I thought I'd show that off. Light show, yeah. As beautiful as she is, sadly there is still one missing component, and that I'm still waiting on from Amazon. Oh look, it's arrived! Man, they're not joking around about that fast delivery time. And what do we have here, you may ask? Well, this is the Elgato 4K 60 Pro Mark II that you actually install directly into one of your PC's PCI Express slots. So a couple of really cool things about the Mark II, and why I chose to upgrade to it, is when recording from either an Xbox One X or a PS4 Pro, you can actually now record in 4K at up to 60 frames per second. And on top of that, it's even capable of recording in or at least passing through HDR. So let's get her powered down, opened up, and get this thing installed. One of the biggest perks actually with the 4K Mark II is that I'm actually going to be able to play my games in 4K now and HDR without having to go down to 1080p while recording. And that'll be nice. So with this thing installed, I just want to test it out. So I'm actually going to boot up Hitman 2 on the Xbox One X and do a little recording in 4K and see how that looks.
No hostile presence.
And yes, that does mean that I've actually recorded this whole video in 4K. It's one of the things I wanted to test out doing with the new PC. So I've just loaded up Hawke's Bay here, and we'll just get the mission started a little bit and check out how it looks. Of course, for anyone who is watching this video on a display that is not in 4K, you'll be seeing it in some low resolution, but my hope is that by being able to record anything in 4K, that it's just going to look awesome at any resolution lower than 4K. So we'll just shoot at this camera here.
Good aim.
And take a shot at the bait. What? How did I miss that? And get the key, head on inside. I mean, on my TV, this is all looking really good, so hopefully it's doing the same in the video. And we'll go upstairs and sneak into her little hidden room here. Grab the key dongle for
Here
it.
we go. For the office computer, no doubt.
And load it in the computer.
I'm in.
Hurry. I'm detecting movement up the road. A motorcade, possibly Reynard's.
So there's a little cutscene of her coming in.
I thought this night would never end. What a snob fest. And I even missed out on the action.
I'm sorry you had to endure all that free champagne and cello music, Orson. What can I say? You really took one for the team.
Well, I say stick to what you know.
She's got such a weird voice. And you know what? Let's not mess around. Die, bitch! Yeah, she wasn't expecting that. The old get shot in the face the second she walks in the front door. Or, you know, a few seconds later. Okay, so having checked out Hitman 2 on the Xbox One in 4K, now let's actually check it out again, but this time on the PC, also in 4K. Do a little comparison here. Yeah, so the reason I picked the Hawke's Bay level on the Xbox One is on the PC, I don't actually own the game, so right now I'm just playing around with the demo, but I just kind of wanted to do a little comparison, and the demo on the PC version is also just the Hawke's Bay mission. And yeah, I gotta say, when running in 4K on PC with like most of the settings maxed out, it does look quite good.
Ugh, I thought this night would never end. What a snob fest. And I even missed out on the action.
I'm sorry you had to endure all that free champagne and cello music, Orson. What can I say? You really took one for the team.
Yeah, well, I say stick to what you know.
And this time around, I think I'm just gonna give Alma her knife back.
Target.
Oh, she caught it with her hand. Good job! So it's actually been quite a few years since I've had a good gaming capable PC, so I didn't really keep up on a lot of PC gaming purchases per se. So I have been playing a bit of what I did have, or you know, the odd thing I'd bought on Steam sales and such over the years. But I guess I'm gonna have to get some new games. But yeah, I just wanted to check out some of the ones I did have. So I'm just gonna show a few of those off here, such as GTA 4 here, which I reinstalled and also cranked up to 4K, put on to high settings. And I actually was curious about some of the mods available, so I've been playing around with some of those. One of the mods should be obvious right away. As you can see, I installed this one that has updated all the cars, and they do look really good, but that said, I don't really like how it completely changes their look, so I probably won't keep it installed, but still, it does look good. Also, this one really changes the handling on the cars and boosts the speed, so it's kind of harder to control, as I'm guessing you can tell from my poor driving. Hey, buddy, get the hell out of the way. You and the dumpster you rode in on. Okay, I know that Liberty City is an analog for New York, but nonetheless, the number of cabs that are on the street here, this is a little ridiculous. I mean, come on, somebody drives something else. It's been a little while since I played Destiny 2, so I figured out what the hell, let's install that as well. Actually, it was so long ago that I last played it that I had to migrate everything over to Steam, because previously I was playing it on the Battle.net launcher. Now, I've always thought Destiny's been a pretty beautiful looking game to begin with, so yeah, seeing it here on the new computer with all the settings, I'm pretty sure I have everything at max. The only thing I had to turn off was HDR, because that was going to interfere with recording, but yeah, this is looking absolutely great. Earth has always been a really nice location, lots of green, so that's why I went here for now. But I thought I'd also show off a little bit of the Tangled Shores, because that's such a cool looking location too. Yeah, I really got to get back into Destiny a bit, because I have not even touched anything with the Shadowkeep stuff yet, so yeah, I'm going to have to check that out later. Man, I love the bow. Destiny is a game I always like to return to, because it's just always such a joy to play. Just the gunplay alone, Bungie absolutely nailed it with this game. Now, the next game up here is one I actually didn't already own, on PC at least, and yeah, that was The Witcher 3. And when I signed up for the GOG account and it gave me an awesome deal to get like all the Witcher games, I couldn't say no to that. So yeah, I picked that one up, and my god, this game looks absolutely amazing. And I mean, this game came out, what, 4 years ago? And just look at it, like, it's still impressive. And an added bonus is the version I picked up was the Game of the Year edition, which has the DLC, and I never actually played the DLC for Witcher 3, so that's something I'll have to check out now. Now I hear you saying, Black Death, of course The Witcher 3 looks good in 4K, I guess, but what of Gwent? Well, good viewer, I'm glad you asked, because here it is. Way back when I was doing my first playthrough of Witcher 3 years ago, I actually didn't care for Gwent that much at the beginning, but then at one point I started playing it a bit and actually started to get into it, and then I think I collected pretty much all the cards, so yeah, it wasn't actually a bad minigame.
Well, I could fuck you up by myself.
If I had a bag over my head and my hands tied behind... Actually, no, not even then.
Chet, Lesh, back off. I'll teach this vagrant a lesson. Man on freak.
And of course, we just need to beat the hell out of some thugs here. Now, I've shown you a few games here already, but I know there's one game on everyone's mind, and this is the one that everyone really wants to see. This is the game that is a true test of your new PC's capabilities. And really, it's the litmus test to know, should I just keep this PC or should I just throw it in the trash? But I mean, if you can run this game, then my god, you have a powerful machine. Of course, I could be talking about no other game than Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, running in all its glory in 4K. Okay, yeah, obviously this one's a joke, but it actually is running in 4K, and holy crap, that took a lot of like toying around with different files and a couple mods I had to get, but yeah, it actually is running here in 4K. This game has it all. I mean, look at this ship, and check out this sweet-ass cantina. I mean, look at this, the people are just lined up right out the door. Oh, this place is amazing. It's got a stage and a singer, and I mean, my god, the Mos Eisley Cantina's got nothing on this place. One thing this game did have was some massive levels. Like, this one in particular is absolutely huge. Man, the mouse movement controls are really sensitive in this. And of course, you know, it was one of the first old school Star Wars 3D games to actually use a lightsaber. And one of the best parts, you got to use that lightsaber to duel other Dark Jedi in some, well, I guess you could somewhat call them epic boss battles. Nah, this was a really great game back in its day. It's still pretty good now, actually. And after having played so much Jedi Knight 1, it got me curious to see Jedi Knight 2 again. So I installed that as well, and you know, funny enough, this was probably just as much of a nightmare to get running on Windows 10 as number 1 was. There's something about it, like, it does not like to play nicely with widescreen and, you know, much higher resolutions. So yeah, after a bit of digging around online, I was able to find some info on stuff that needed to be updated in the config files to allow for higher resolutions and more of a widescreen mode. Did have to mess a little bit with the field of view because it's not exactly perfect. I guess it was really tailored to the 4:3 ratio, but we seem to have gotten it running pretty well now. And I will say, it's still a damn good looking game. It really captured the look and feel of Star Wars really well. When this game was coming out, I was so hyped for it. I just couldn't wait to play it and, you know, be a badass as a Jedi and all that. Did that Stormtrooper just run off the edge? And, you know, you really did feel like a badass Jedi when you finally got your lightsaber, which I didn't do in my playing around here because you have to get a lot farther into this game to finally get the lightsaber than you do in Jedi Knight 1. But, yeah, still, such a great game. But anyways, I think you guys get the idea. New computer, it's awesome. I'm very happy with it. As well, I'm really excited for the potential it has for me to bring you better and greater content in the future. Speaking of which, if you did enjoy this video, please do go ahead and leave a like down below, as well as comment on the video. Share it out with your friends, and if you haven't already, do go ahead and subscribe to the channel, as, like I said, I want to bring you a lot more great content in the future. Unfortunately, with building the new PC, it was a bit of a distraction, so I wasn't able to work on too many new videos in the last week or so, but hopefully I will be getting back on track with that pretty shortly. For now though, this is Infinite Omega. I've been Black Deatha, and this has just been a look at the new PC build as well as some games running on it. I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have yourselves an amazing day. Goodbye.